42 guys that were in there, and they, DJ said, I'm gonna tell them we need to quit having that 42. He said, everybody just too serious. He said, you guys were having fun out there and laughing and talking and kidding around, and they're all in there super serious. And
Yeah, old John Coffey was giving me a hard time.
right.
We were playing each other. They ended up winning it. There's some young guys that
what do you
just play cornhole. So
Thank you. So your little presentation.
Okay, well, I have on the agenda for the tax growth, we're gonna be here to do a presentation, but they will scheduling conflict, so we'll put you in there. Okay, all right.
so anyway, give me a second. $150.
I guess we're ready to get
We played
started.
these games 3 times.
Feel sort of prepared. There you go. Right. Yes.
American flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Let us pray. God, we ask for your blessings and for your help to keep everyone healthy and safe, and pray you look after our first responders and emergency personnel and keep them out of harm's way. And please give those of us here at this table the wisdom to make wise decisions for the people we serve. Lord, also we ask you to be with each and every one of us as we move forward with every day ahead. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. First item on the agenda is public comments.
Didn't see any.
Okay, all right, hearing none, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Anybody have any questions on the consent agenda?
Nope.
No? Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
And I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, our regular agenda. So on the agenda, I had a presentation that our employee benefits consultants were going to do today. However, we had a scheduling conflict. And so in the event of that, Craig Jones has a presentation or some information he wants to present in regards to his, was it a class? I'm sorry, I was out of town.
Well, let me tell you about it.
Okay, please do.
Always count on the lawyer to step in and talk.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted to let the court know about earlier this month, our office was able to sponsor a DWI training at the Dome. We brought in the DWI resource prosecutor from the Texas District and County Attorney Association, Clay Adams. He provides these free of charge based on a grant from TxDOT. And so these are over 50 law enforcement officials and prosecutors from around the Panhandle that came to Border to get this training on just some updates and information on how to better investigate and prosecute DWI offenses, which was really effective. We not only did we get the free presentation of that, but everybody who attended got legal publications that'll come in real handy with any questions that they have about these kind of cases. I wanted to recognize especially Alan and Sheriff Langwell and the LEPC who paid for all our food that day. It was a day-long event, so we were able to all stay on site, and that really was time effective and was productive. I really appreciate their generosity. Also, we had several vendors, local. Dottie's Donuts donated our breakfast, which is good when you've got a room full of cops. No offense. That was very popular. Scooter's Coffee brought our coffee and donated part of that in kind. We appreciate that. And then we had Smitty's Barbecue to cater our lunch, and it was really good. So it was a great event. Also appreciate the city of Border for the use of the Dome, which is always handy, and their personnel who are always really helpful. And Also my office, Pam Cervantes and Amy King. I couldn't have done this without them. And so just a successful event. Wanted to appreciate, especially appreciate LAPC for their support, and just let you know, what's going on. And with that, if you got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd really like to get a photo with the court and with Alan, anybody that's here from the LAPC this morning, and recognize them.
Awesome. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good. I wasn't able to attend. I was out of town, but some of my judge friends from the area were there and
Yeah, everybody
Really
that
said it
attended
was
was
great.
very positive, and Mr. Abbott he thought it was very successful. He'll be willing to come back anytime to order.
good.
So he offers several different kinds of presentations, so we'll definitely have him back. And hopefully attract some other things like this, to help us in our
Yeah.
investigation.
Local training is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because most times we'd have to go
We have to travel.
Houston. I mean, I just went to Houston 2 weeks ago for training, so it's great when we get people to come local.
Yep.
Great.
Well, that's
Thanks for
neat.
sponsoring that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
You want to get a picture real quick?
I think Nancy's gonna be my photographer today.
Okay.
I'll do my
And,
best.
and you'll send me a copy?
Sure.
Are you coming, Alan?
I'm working my way around.
That's okay. That's okay. You bought it.
He's a short man in this deal.
Here, you can scoot in closer.
How excited it is to get over there.
You down?
Make it symmetrical.
Yeah, right.
More important than us.
Are y'all ready? Okay, I did 3. So
Thank you.
be good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right, the next item on the agenda, item 2, is to consider and or approve the auditor's monthly report for the month ending March 31st. Y'all had a chance to review that. Any questions? Both Leisha and Tiffany have left this morning to go to an auditor's conference, so that's why they're not here.
Yeah.
Hey, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the auditor's monthly report for the month ending March 31st, 2025.
There we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, item 3 is to consider and or approve the service agreement between Savins and Silogist Gov. Okay, so they're changing software vendors. They were using Apris, I think it was. And it seems like they change about every other year. Anyway, so this is just an agreement with the new vendor to administer that program, which is the Victims Notification Service. And Craig has looked at the agreement and approved. So do y'all have any questions? This is something that they do up in the DA's office. Teely works on it. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the service agreement between Savins and Sylogist Gov.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, item 4 is to consider and or approve the agreement for inmate housing Class C inmates. And Craig has reviewed this and approved. This is just to get this in place. I believe we had done this informally, but we didn't actually have the actual paperwork in place. So, Monica, did you have anything to add on this or?
No, the other one never went into effect.
Right.
Border had some issues with the wording, sheriff got with Craig and mayor.
Yeah.
City manager.
Oh, yeah.
We got a good.
Cleared all that up.
So,
Okay.
yes. And we'll use this, not only for the city of Border, but, Rich and Stinnett as well.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or do I hear a motion?
What was the compensation last time previously?
Same.
It was the same. Everything's pretty much the same.
Yes, it was just,
Words.
technical wording that he wanted to.
Cool.
Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve the agreement for inmate housing, Class C inmates.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, and I need each of you to sign that agreement. Okay, we're kind of a little out of order than we would normally be, but that's okay. It'll all get covered. The next item is to give a report on any ARP grant projects, just a progress report. Anybody got anything? Thanks, Monica.
Not right now. I
No.
don't think so.
Yeah, we should be starting the outside, the exterior at the library, depending on the weather. That should be about a week or two.
All right.
And then my song sent me a message this morning because she was gonna be here. She was wondering if there was an update on the door project that was supposed to
So I
be.
can speak to that. The contractor who did the door work and then also did the work down at the sheriff's office. We cannot.
Have you talked to Jerry to see if he can reach out to him?
Didn't do that, but we tried for a couple of months, haven't had any luck. So I was just getting ready to maybe look into whether we can use somebody else. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works with, we earmarked the money, we made the contract. I don't know if we can get out of that and do it with another contractor or not.
Who is the contract with?
Clint Lost,
It's the guys that did the bulletproof stuff.
yeah. So
Okay,
I don't know what's going on. I usually don't have that much problem, but I'll check with Jerry and see if he has any luck. And then if not, we may need to look into possibly using a different third party.
okay. Thank you.
One other thing on the lighting over at the annex, they had an engineer that was supposed to take care of the electrical part. Waiting on him, and he's not following to his Brown Engineering and Emerald. So we'll get somebody else. We'll go get the engineer. So,
Okay. All right.
He just never got back to me on it.
Hey, anything else on the ARP projects? Just updates, anything? Okay. All right, item 6 is to consider and or approve the burn ban or rescind the burn ban. We currently do not have a burn ban on. So Alan, do you have info?
Recommendations to leave no views.
No changes? Okay. Item 7 is to consider and or approve gross sales to sell fireworks over the Memorial Day holiday. Are you here with them? Okay, awesome. Come on up.
This is my first meeting here, so I'm Dennis Gross.
Yeah, usually your wife comes.
Yeah, I own Gross Sales and operate it too. We would like to request permission to sell fireworks on Memorial Day, also besides Independence Day. We're not looking at Cinco de Mayo, which we could
Right.
information. But we are thankful for the rain that we've been having and request your permission to sell fireworks.
Let me just give you all a little info. The fireworks, legal holidays, 4th of July, New Year's, I think there's 1 or 2 others but Memorial Day is not a actual legal fireworks holiday, so they have to come to the court and ask the court permission in order to sell fireworks during that period of time, which would be from May the 21st and ending at midnight on May the 26th. Okay, the order that they always send an example out, TAC does, and reminds us that this is coming up. The order expires on the date that the Texas A&M Forest Service determines that drought conditions exist in the county, or midnight on the 26th, whichever comes first. So if things should deteriorate between now and May the 21st to the point where we are back in drought conditions and the Texas Forest Service has put us in that, then we would be able to say you cannot do that.
Yeah, we follow.
That's part of the order.
KPBI
Yes.
daily.
So do y'all have any questions? in regards to that or to Mr. Gross?
Was May 21st through May 26th.
That's the period of time that they can sell.
And I know I ask this every year, but us approving gross to
Yes,
sell,
does
that opens everybody up.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, not just them.
We're the guinea pig.
So, I mean, it's not just based on the drought, though. I mean, we can decide yes or no regardless. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can make that decision
That's
today.
fine.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I don't know, I personally find it a little disrespectful to allow fireworks on Memorial Day when it's remembering those that have fallen in the military, and there's a lot of people that do have PTSD. And so to celebrate, we're going to allow popping of fireworks potentially in their neighborhoods that as they're enduring this holiday with their brothers and sisters that fell, they might have that situation going on, having fireworks pop around their house. And so that's just my stance. There's not a lot of fireworks on Memorial Day holidays. Obviously, it's a newer one to allow, but I don't think that's a very respectful way to celebrate.
It's a celebration of freedom. They gave us freedom, a sacrifice for our freedom.
Well, that's not what Memorial Day is. It's to remember those that fell.
What did we do last year?
I don't think y'all asked to sell them on Memorial Day last year, did you?
It was pretty dry.
It was,
We did-
yeah, it was dry. You had,
That,
They had it
I
on the
will
agenda.
say one thing, the Grosses are very respectful of the county and how dry we are. And because I think Mrs. Gross called me and said, we're thinking about doing this, but I don't know, but we're not gonna do it if we don't get any rain. So they're very respectful of the county and how dry we are.
yeah, you withdrew it from the
Yeah.
agenda.
It's not a great selling season. but
Right.
It's just, what we'll do is just have it as a setup, actually.
Right.
Have
So
they,
get all your inventory in before 4th of July.
Before 4th of July.
have they been done on Memorial Day the last 2 years
I think
or?
we did it
A couple years ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I remember approving it
Yeah.
once.
I don't-
I don't remember when that was.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had before, and I had people reach out to me. That's why I didn't really think of it that way. So it's kind of
Yeah.
changed my opinion of it.
We have people that come to us and we sell what we call the silent fireworks.
Oh, so it goes up and it's pretty, but you can't hear it? Oh. Didn't know there was such
That's
thing,
an option.
right?
But not a lot of people buy those though.
Memorial Day is not firework day.
No,
To me,
it's
It may be.
typical.
The legislature gets their way,
I mean, everybody to their own.
or the fireworks lobby.
Yeah, firework lobby is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any other questions or comments, or do I hear a motion to approve? Anybody want to make a motion?
I move to approve the sale of fireworks over the Memorial Day holiday.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. All right, I have an order, Mr. Gross, and I can, I think I've got your wife's email.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. So I can just email you a copy of it if you
Okay.
want a copy. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for being here too. Okay. Where am I? Item 8 is to consider and or approve request for the use of the club rooms at the Borger Library or Fridge.
I don't have anything new.
Getting so old. I have something on the May 24th is something new that I didn't have last time. And then that's all,
Okay,
even though we're the day after.
do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the use of the club room on May 24th.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, item 9 is to consider and or approve fiber optics for all branches of the library. We're excited.
Yes, we are. There's been a lot of hard work that's gone into this. So I've tried to touch base with everybody. I will send a copy to Craig as soon as I get back to the office, but it's library infrastructure facility improvement. So there's through TSLAC, the libraries, the 3 branches of the library, they will take, Region 16 is running fiber optics to all the schools. So what we're doing with this grant is piggybacking on that line and running it to the outside of the building. And so the grant is basically $250,000. However, the Region 16 has got a project manager, and so that'll be $25,000 for him. So he will make sure everything gets installed. He's over the project with the Region 16. So he'll make sure everything gets installed correctly, is with us all the way through the end. So the potential, if, we're awarded the grant, would be July through November of 2026. So I've also talked quite a bit with Richard, and he must have been busy.
He had an issue over at the annex and he told me to tell you that.
Yes. So, like I said, I've tried to communicate that to everybody and keep everybody in the loop. We also, so Region 16 worked with me on completing the grant because there's a lot of technical stuff. And then we also have Amarillo Area Foundation is also looking over it. So basically, I did tell them, since it's over 50,000, that we would have to have essentially 3 bids, for the fiber. Region 16 said that they will have a company, it's Fiber Lit or Lit Fiber, I'm not sure which, but that company, they've contracted to do all of this. So they will work with us and get the statement of work, the specs lined out, so that way we can go ahead, and post to get possible other bids on it.
So this is a grant, totally grant? We don't have to match it or
No.
percentage or?
Correct.
That's awesome.
So that part, the 250,000 then runs the fiber up to the building. There is an additional 100,000 that could pay for any equipment costs that we have that would run it, essentially from the street into the building. So again, this will include each one of the branches. So as an example, in Stinnett, they're coming from, the ISD and running it straight across.
Right.
So y'all will receive the benefit of it. With Stinnett, it's also coming from Dumas. So there's going to be a redundancy. So, you won't ever be without. If one leg goes down, then the other leg will come up. I'm not sure about Borger and Fritch. The ISD building is right up Weatherly, so comes right in. And then, of course, Fritch, they're going to run, from the ISD building, it'll run down 136. And then they're going to make the turn right there at the light for the elementary.
Mhm.
So I said, well, so are they going to be coming off of that branch, or are they, because we're just a couple blocks
Right.
up? And they said, no, they would take our line straight, across from 136. So go ahead, and they did say whatever side of the road AT&T is on, they will be on the opposite side. So that way, hopefully lessen any risk of it getting cut.
Or hit the water mains or water lines.
That happens a
A lot.
Story of our lives, isn't it?
Basically, Region 16 said, by the time you are installed, they will have done, all the rest of the project. So
I can just see it now, Nancy, big headlines, library fiber cuts water mains.
Oh, no. No. So, some of the services that we offer are we've got, K through 12 online school. They come in and use our conference room, and that's in Borger. We've also got English second language. Those classes are every Friday. The non-traditional students, for whatever reason, that are not able to be in the classroom, they've got a tutor that comes in with them, depending upon, their workload, 2 to 3 times a week. So, and that's, at our branch alone. So I will also see about, I talked with Richard this morning, that other 100,000 getting, maybe a potential price that, for equipment that we, can add. So I'm sure there's going to be more communication between him and Region 16. Exactly. So he did send me over, I think like $33,000 for each one. So what's that? 11,000 for each branch. So anyway, then we could go ahead and include that on this grant. So I believe the filing period deadline ends tonight at midnight. So this has been a in which TSLAC is known for that. Giving you a very short time
window.
frame to get this astronomical amount of work done and submitted on time. So, I feel like we've done, our very best effort at getting everything filled out the way it should. And, it's really been very interesting. And, I've learned a lot working with Region 16 Amarillo Area Foundation and Richard, of course, too. So, I think just Region 16 told me, now we're on Amarillo Area Foundation radar. So when, even if we're not awarded this grant, then, if other monies come in, we could still potentially get it, but it sure would be nice if, we are awarded these funds.
Yes, that'd be
So
awesome.
after I get more, so I sent each one of y'all the application that I had so far. So I know I've already got more revisions. So we may be a long night, but we will get it submitted. Also have a certification paper that I will need for you to sign. I brought it with me.
Okay.
And then I've already uploaded all the other documents, and I do have the application saved. So now it's just a matter of, once I get it finished, all I have to do is hit submit. Right. So do y'all have any questions?
Like getting the service into the buildings and stuff, who makes that decision? The contractor, or how we do that to keep from interfering with anything?
That will be the fiber light that Region 16 has contracted.
We'd like a little input or knowledge.
I think Richard's been on board with this.
Yes.
We need to know how they're going to do this before they start,
Oh, absolutely.
because we don't want to interfere with anything else.
Sure. And if we are awarded the grant, I can sure have Region 16 come and, give us all the nitty gritty details about it.
And if we're kind of picky about running across the line, or, how you get into the building, and this is a historical building, so we have to be careful with that too, so.
Correct.
Yeah, they just need to work with each facility.
Yeah, and just make sure anybody involved has an input here.
Sure.
So on a long-term lease, what is the pricing of that? Because that's not covered by the.
No, Region 16, I asked them, okay, so all of this, is 100% paid for. What cost do I have? So the 36-month lease, he said, according to the bandwidth, so like we're guaranteed 1 gigabyte. So if, we have the potential to grow up to 10 gig, but Region 16, he said they pay approximately $200 to $300 a month for theirs. So, and since it's going to be running into the library here, the whole courthouse, will receive the benefit of that. With ours, it'll just be as I also asked about the annex, and they said that would cost millions to run it over there.
Right.
Because, it's just a little too far. And then, of course, with Bridge, it's the library as well as the tag office
Okay.
will reap the benefit of it.
So is there a cost for, you said it's 200 to 300 for them a month. What does that mean for us?
So that's what he was kind of giving me a guesstimate of, he said probably.
Potential costs.
Yeah, 300 to 500, and, it probably will be less, but, he didn't think it would be any more than that.
And that's total, that's not per site, that's total.
That's a good question. Well, that's lease on all of the equipment, so I'm assuming it's all three, but I don't know that for sure, so I will ask.
Would there be a gap in service at all?
Currently, Richard said that we've renewed the lease with, Sparklight,
Mhm.
and I think it's a 3-year. So by the time they get this in 2026, we'll basically have
Might be
about
able
a
to
year.
transition.
Yes, so, and they also, Region 16 said, it's good to have overlap. So that way, if we do run into
Mhm.
any issues, then we can make sure that we're covered.
We just
But-
have some elections during that time at those early voting locations that
Gotcha.
I just wouldn't want there to be a gap in service.
Oh,
But anyway,
absolutely. But, so these funds, if we are awarded, have to be dispersed. Everything's got to be in and completed, I believe, by December 31st of 2026. So they're going to be working their best, to make sure.
So
that
we'll
we
have a
get up
March
and-
of 26, right?
Mhm.
Election.
in
yeah,
November.
Right.
Mhm.
But that could be super advantageous for y'all too, to be on fiber.
Yeah. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Okay.
And I'm sure if we did get the grant, we had the service ran to these locations, it would minimize our backup stuff, because we have, when I look at the bills, we pay Sparklight, AMA Tech
Right.
Right.
We're probably overpaying a
AMAs
lot of
are
different
backup,
ones.
yeah.
Yeah. AT&T I see on some, Kinetic.
Mhm.
So I know there's quite a few internet that we're paying with the county that we could probably cut out and save some money.
I agree.
Now, I don't know that for
Yeah,
a fact.
eventually.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow, but
No.
Mhm.
Right.
And on the fixed rates, did they give so that's for the first 36 months. Did they give any idea of what fixed rates might be waiting at the end of the 3 years? Or that's 3 years out?
No, they just said along with, installing this, they, are asking for the 36 months, but at that point, if we need to, we can look elsewhere, get different equipment.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? I think we're gonna need a motion for her to proceed.
I move,
No, I was just wondering, if we're making a lot of changes today, because you were saying you're gonna make some revisions and stuff, if we approve it now, those
Well, I
revisions
think
are
we
approved.
would probably need to give her the authority to move forward with the application, which is due tonight.
Right, well, I know, but that's why I was just pointing.
Bring the
out.
changes back to us.
Right,
Yeah,
I can email them out
oh, absolutely.
before I submit it.
yeah, it's just a statement, I wouldn't.
well, just to be on the safe side, you can mail them out to us. We just can't deliberate or tell you any adjustments after.
That doesn't do a lot of
Yeah.
good for approval.
Yeah,
Yeah, just bring it,
Just bring us updates.
I just want to make that statement, because we approve.
It's just
There's
the
a lot of-
application process.
Right.
Okay, any other questions for Nancy?
Now word that right, don't I?
okay, I'll try. My brain's on it.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the application process for the grant. I already forgot what it's called,
For the fiber optic.
for the fiber optics, partnering with Region 16. Also giving authority to Nancy to make those amendments and adjustments to the application to get in the time frame. Before 12, yes.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Kelly, how was that? Just whatever you had.
As presented.
Thanks for all your.
You're welcome.
Excited about this project.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, just record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's, I'm always like, "Put that on."
Right, you are.
A preacher's not good at making something summarized. He knows how to keep talking forever and ever.
You an attorney.
Yes.
Okay, let's see where we at. Okay, item 10, consider and or approve line item changes, transfers and or budget amendments. I think I've actually got that one. I thought I did. Anybody have any questions on that?
I was just curious, and maybe I didn't see it. What equipment are we transferring or purchasing?
The
It doesn't really.
EOC, so we had a bill come in for tower siren. Yeah, maintenance on the sirens, yearly maintenance.
Oh,
And
okay.
it, summary got overlooked in the budget, so we're just moving some funds from equipment, which we have plenty of.
So it's
to
for the
sirens.
actual siren.
Yes,
Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense. I figured it was, but I
Yeah.
was,
That's what that's for. Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the line item changes, transfers, or budget amendments.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, item 11, consider and or approve advertising, opening, accepting or awarding bids. Don't believe we have any. Item 12, consider and or approve donations to Hutchinson County. Anybody out there? Oh. Item 13, discussion of county judges and commissioners precinct daily operations. Lee just sent me something, a couple of things that need to be mentioned during the daily precinct operations. So TAC will be sending appraisers out this summer to reappraise our buildings with the value over $250,000. Any new buildings. And so that's just an FYI that they will be coming, and there's really no set date. I think that, of course, they'll give us a little heads up on when they're gonna head our way, but they'll be out here to reappraise our buildings. So I'm sure they'll let Leisha know, and then she can let the appropriate commissioner know. So if you all want to be present during the appraisal process, that would be fine. And then one other thing is that she received, and you all may have received this too, the incident report from Dwayne on a dented bumper. It's just FYI, not anything for file insurance. They just filed a incident report. It's pretty minor. Hard to even tell in the picture. But
Yeah, it was hard to tell.
I know, I was like, where?
Could never see the damage.
It doesn't. Teeny tiny little dent, anyway. Anything else on precinct daily operations? Anybody got anything? No?
So last Thursday, we met with City of Borger and the water line going to the airport. The materials were ordered. There'll be 2 additional hydrants installed on the water line going up there. One in close proximity to the residents, the second one on the north side of the Piper Hanger. The 3 tanks are set currently. We're reviewing potential of having to maybe modify the fence right in the area of the tanks. Baltazar is checking on that. Other than that,
Moving forward. Craig, where are we at on that demand letter?
So I believe it's been sent out.
Okay,
I asked my staff to CC Baltazar and you on that one.
I haven't seen
You
it,
haven't seen that.
but
That's okay. I'll check on that today and make sure.
okay, yeah, just let me know.
can you send that to all of us?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
We had our book sale this.
Oh, yes.
weekend,
How'd that
so
go?
It went great, but I don't have a dollar amount.
Mhm.
Everybody who came.
I saw a lot of discussion on Facebook about people that were going, so that's good. Okay, anything else on that line item? All right, item 14, we do not have any struck off tax properties to discuss. 15, we are not having an executive session. I just didn't get that off the agenda. And 17, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
You want to stay longer, huh?
Meeting adjourned.